And these fans, they save up for every 4 years to travel with the British and Irish Lions and be part of this touring party. So it's a bit like for, the Rugby World Cups every 4 years, and obviously every country goes to it. But for Lions fans, whether you're from Ireland or Wales, England or Scotland, they try and out-drink each other, the fans, but they all come together. Of course, they play the Six Nations against each other every year, and they hate each other. But then every 4 years, the fans and the players all get together, and that's where the players, they're trying to build combinations because, you've got a scrum half from Ireland, you've got a fly half from Scotland. So you've got to be able to mix and match. And the head coach, Andy Farrell, this is his fourth tour as a coach, and got opportunity for him to go through, and they'll play 3 test matches in Brisbane, Melbourne and Sydney in a few weeks' time.
Wallabies legend Tim Horan is my guest. So this Saturday at the Adelaide Oval, you can see the Lions versus the Invitational Australia and New Zealand team, the British and Irish Lions. Of course, Tim is part of the Stan Sport commentary team. You can see it on Stan Sport live and exclusive on Saturday. You've been coming to Adelaide for a lot of years, Tim. You would have noticed just how popular rugby union has become and continues to be here in Adelaide. Great clubs like Brighton and Port Adelaide and Woodville. There are so many people that, whilst AFL is probably our number one sport here, are embracing your game.
Yeah, I think that's what rugby can do. To have a rugby club, that's part of the community, and it's families, and there's a lot of girls playing the sport as well. Sevens for girls is one of the fastest growing sports globally now, so all around the world, and you'll see the Women's World Cup here in Australia in 2029. It's on this year over in England, and then 4 years' time it'll come to Australia. So it'll be a little bit like the Matildas, and the hype they get. So the women's game is growing, but the community game is really important for us. The grassroots, young boys and girls running around, with mums and dads coaching or refereeing. That's the heart and soul of rugby.
Can you give us a player on either side to look out for? So we're all novices, I guess, when it comes to your game, but we just love a great contest. Give me someone to watch out for on the Australian-New Zealand side and someone on the Lions. Yeah,
Australia-New Zealand. You wouldn't have seen him for probably 2 years ago. He was unbelievable here for a while. He's Marika Corambetti. So he's a winger. He's a wonderful player. He's been playing in Japan now the last year and a half, so he's not in the Wallaby squad, but he'll be on the wing for the Australian-New Zealand Invitational team. A wonderful player. And then for the British and Irish Lions, I reckon you might get a glimpse of a guy called Owen Farrell, who is the son of Andy Farrell, and this is his fourth tour. He's just got called in about 6 days ago, and he'll need to get some game time because they've sort of brought him over there's been a couple of injuries in the fly half position. Number 10 brought him over for a bit of insurance, but he'll need to get a bit of game time. Whether he starts or whether he plays, a guy like Owen Farrell will be one to watch.
Wonderful. We will check that out on Stan Sport. Do you get any downtime here in Adelaide, Tim, while you're here?
Yeah, we will, Leith. Yeah, we'll walk around, and one of my favourite pubs is out at the Crafers out there at Adelaide Hill, so I might visit there for lunch and have a bite to eat. It's a lovely spot out there, and we might get a chance to duck out to the Barossa very quickly.
Oh, excellent. All right, so we're putting the word out there. Wallaby legends just walking around, folks. You'll bump into them everywhere you go. Tim, thanks so much. Really appreciate your time. We can see live and exclusive as of 6:30 on Saturday on Stan Sport, the British and Irish Lions as they continue their historic tour up against the Australian and the New Zealand side. Thanks so much. Great to have you in our city, Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Leith, and thanks for all the support around Adelaide too, for all the rugby supporters, not just general sports supporters who will support this game, and also the way they support the Wallabies moving forward.
Well done. The great Tim Horan, my guest, part of Stan Sports commentary. What a legend. 80 tests for his country, won everything from world champs and Bledisloes and a Hall of Famer ×2. Here for the British and Irish Lions. Get to the Oval if you can. Some tickets still available. If you can't, you can watch it on Stan Sport.
The Lions are coming. Witness the best of international rugby when the North combine to take on the South at Adelaide Oval. The Lions versus the Australia and New Zealand Invitational 15. Tickets at Ticketek.
Calling it. This is the year. Big Christmas bonus.
You said that last year. You got a mug and a meat tray raffle ticket.
Get a real bonus with Sip and Save. Buy any participating Coopers 24-pack and receive a token. Collect 3 tokens to claim your bonus Coopers Ugly Christmas Jumper. Coopers Pale Ale 24-pack only $58.99 or Coopers Mild Ale 24-pack just $49.99. You can expect more from Sip and Save. More deals, more range, more service. Prices may vary in country areas while stocks last. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
Sip and Save.
There's more in store.
When it comes to flooring for your home or investment property, including plantation shutters and blinds, you've got the world at your feet at Floor World. With locations north, east and west, we've got you covered. Save on a huge range of wool and synthetic carpets, engineered timber flooring, laminate, hybrid and vinyl flooring. If you own a rental property or you're a homeowner, speak with the experts at Floor World. Visit floorworld.com.au for a free consult. Plus, mention this ad for 15% off.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit off. Your nose is runny, but maybe it's just a cold. That scratchy throat, though, that could be something worse.
Test for COVID, Flu A, Flu B and RSV in just minutes with Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test. Fast, reliable results. Make the smart choice for your health and your family. Insist on the brand the healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. CELLIFE.
Paradise Mazda's winter demo deals are on now. Warm up with the red hot savings across over 100 demo vehicles in stock and ready to drive away. From the City Smart CX-3, the versatile CX-5 to the tough BT50, there's something to suit every lifestyle. Don't wait. These deals won't last all winter. Only at Paradise Mazda, where the deal is just the beginning. Book your test drive today. Visit paradisemazda.com.au. T's and C's apply. MVD 1370.
Why are we here? What is the nature of reality? Do I really need all that data to listen to history podcasts?
Huzzah! Question everything!
Especially your telco plan. Get the data you need at low prices with Aldi Mobile.
Harvey Norman 10 days of deals. Shop massive one-day deals on computers, mobiles and more in-store and online. Brand new laptops from just $328, like the 15-inch Acer Lite. Hot deal, just $328. HP DeskJet all-in-one printer, now $48. Save $100 on Samsung Galaxy A16 4G, now under $200. And save $80 on Garmin Lily 2 Sportwatch, now $348. Check out huge one-day deals every day, in-store and online. Harvey Norman 10 days of deals.
FIVEAA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
20 minutes after 3. Great to have your company on this Thursday. If you're listening to us, thank you. If you're watching us on the live stream for Complete Care, Facebook and YouTube, nice to have you on board. Thank you for switching in. 8223 0000 is my number. It's a little bit of John Lennon watching the wheels. We'll speak about John Lennon on the other side of the 3:30 news headlines, because there is a big John Lennon show coming to Adelaide this Saturday at the Festival Theatre, and we will speak to this man.
Come to me, my darling. Come to me.
Yes, Diesel. He had so many great songs, and he always comes around, which is nice. He's here for Sounds by the River, I think, later in the year, but he's here on the weekend for the John Lennon show, so he will join us. You'll be able to see him on the live stream for Complete Care just after 3:30 to talk about that particular show. Before we get to headlines, 8223 0000 is my number. It's always funny what catches fire on a radio station in terms of commentary, be it text or email or calls. Just on the back the chat we had with Shannon from Star Discount Chemist, we just floated memories of old cough lollies. It's amazing how many people get invested in these things, and I guess nostalgia is always fun to remember. A couple of the text messages. David said the Drake's IGA at Foodland sell Throaties cubes because the Jubes were discontinued back in 2022. Do you remember the Throaties Jubes? Oval shaped, kind of had a little T on them for Throaties. Not particularly strong in terms of flavour, but I was saying to Shannon, we used to eat them as kids, like lollies, 6 or 7 at a time. Karen said the SOS cough lollies were delicious. You could actually get a lolly that tasted like the SOS from the Strathalbyn lolly shop. Might have to look that up, Karen. Thank you. I don't remember the SOS at all. Bill is a big fan of Anti-Coal. Isn't it amazing when you've got a favourite cough lolly that you go to? David said that they are no longer the Jubes, they're now the Squares Throaties, so they're still around but just in a different form. Bill, I mentioned, spoke about the Fisherman Friends, and Darren was the original one with the SOS. Faye on the email said cherry menthols. Are cherry menthols still around? Does anyone know? I guess it's whatever particular flavour that you like. Mark said, I've got an unusual cleaning tip for you, Leith, and we love these kind of things, Mark at Melrose Park, so thank you. He said, my auntie put me onto a good toilet bowl cleaner that I had no idea about. A cup of Coca-Cola tipped into the toilet bowl left overnight for 8 hours actually cleans it up. No scrubbing, just a flush and away you go. I haven't tried it. I don't drink Coca-Cola, but my auntie swears by it. All right. It's like a mini sort of curiosity show. Mark, maybe we can give that one a whirl at home if anyone needs to try and clean their bowl. Not sure it's a great advertisement for Coke, considering we drink it, but still, who knows? Maybe there's some kind of chemical element in it that helps. Bit of news before we get to headlines in the sports show, and we'll speak to Tim, who returns with Rowie just after 4 o'clock this afternoon. So you know the story about Michael Voss and the death threats that he received? There's been a bit going on at Carlton of recent times with the graffiti on the walls and then the death threat to Michael Voss. And I'm not sure if it was his family or just to him directly, but Collingwood had put out a release a short time ago. And it says the Collingwood supports the sanction issued to the club member following their misuse of the MCG's anti-social behaviour hotline during the round 17 match against Carlton. So it was a Collingwood supporter who made the threats to Michael Voss. The club is very disappointed by the members' actions, which have resulted in a 5-year ban from both the MCG and the AFL, and Collingwood will follow suit. Collingwood do not tolerate any threats to officials, supporters or individuals involved in our great game. Such conduct is unacceptable and not representative of the club nor its values. Let me ask you a very quick straw poll question. Is a 5-year ban enough for someone who threatens the life, the health, the safety of anyone? If you're able to actually, if I was to get a threat here at work, I wonder if other workplaces would be that kind of punishment, or would it be more if it was a death threat? Is 5 years enough? So at MCG, concerts, football, cricket, etc., no AFL games for 5 years. Be interesting to know how old this particular person was, whether they just an idiotic child, or child being teenager or in their early 20s, or indeed someone who should have known far better. Collingwood will follow suit, so maybe they're a club member, maybe they're no longer allowed to be a member of Collingwood anymore. But again, we don't need this. I mentioned it to Campo yesterday in the cross for the sports show. It's just a game. You know, they're not playing well, but that kind of behaviour is just ridiculous. It's either a mental health issue for this person or they're just an idiot, or perhaps both. But 5-year ban from the MCG, from the AFL and Collingwood to follow suit. The Collingwood member who rang the hotline, again, to have that kind of complaint about Michael Voss. That's the world we live in. Sadly, 26 minutes after 3. Straw poll before 4 o'clock. Yay or nay, you can text, email or give me a call. Do you think 5 years is enough, or should it have been more? Kendall's got headlines for us. On the other side, we'll speak to Diesel about John Lennon.
5AA Weekend Breakfast. Mike Keelan and Angie McBride.
Aussie Jordan Thompson, he's reached the top 16 in Wimbledon, as well as Daria Kasatkina. She's playing as well, so good luck to them.
Weekends from 6 a.m.
I can handle a bit of
Kasatkina? Yeah.
On 5AA, always Adelaide.
Get the garden you want at Garden Grove. At Garden Grove, there's indoor plants and pots, general hardware and a great range of paving for that backyard renovation. Want some winter warmth too? You'll find loads of split and season firewood right here at Garden Grove. Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove.
Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, the garden that I
Phone 8251 1111 for delivery to all areas. Open 7 days.
Ageism takes away my rights. The right to make my own decisions, be safe, and be treated with dignity and respect. Sometimes people assume I can't do something because of my age. They exclude me, and I feel invisible and sad. Ageism can lead to mistreatment, neglect, and other forms of abuse. How do you treat the older people in your life?
For more information, search DHS Tackling Ageism, a message from the Government of South Australia.
Drive away with a bargain this winter at Camper Agent RV Supercentre. Receive up to $5,000 of bonus value on cashbacks, fuel vouchers and free extended warranties on selected top brands. Shop from Winnebago, Windsor, Corrimal and Hitchhiker. With the largest selection of certified pre-owned RVs available nationally. We're your one-stop shop for new and used caravans, camper vans, motorhomes and more. Hurry while stocks last. Visit Camper Agent RV Supercentre, Parafield Gardens.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on right now with loads of demo vehicles that must go.
They're absolutely overstocked, so why pay full price when you could drive away with a feature-packed demo model for less?
Plus, they're including 10 years warranty and cap price servicing with any demo car purchased during the sale.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on now. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Hurry, stock won't last.
I'm Brett Buckley from Ray White Business Sales. We've been with FIVEAA now for nearly 5 years. We noticed that fairly early, probably within about 4 to 5 months, we started to see some good quality inquiries coming through that were directly from FIVEAA. From our experience, I would highly recommend advertising on radio firstly, but more importantly on FIVEAA. Not just because of the reach, not just because you can get to your target market more effectively, but purely because of the collaborative experience that you'll have in ensuring that your marketing dollar is best spent.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
A new elevated shopping experience awaits at Burnside Village. With a 2-story Mecca flagship store, Coco Republic, JB Hi-Fi, Uniqlo, Style Runner, Kavari, July and much more. Burnside Village. Fashion, dining, lifestyle. BurnsideVillage.com.au.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. A man's body was pulled from the water at O'Sullivan Beach this morning. His death is not being treated as suspicious. Experts believe Australia could be asked to funnel more money into the AUKUS agreement when a US review of the pact is complete. SA's fashion industry is going green with a new circular fashion initiative funded by the state government. And Jace Burgoyne says he's excited about the future after signing a 4-year deal with Port Adelaide. Showers and 15, at the moment 13. More news at 4 o'clock on 5AA, Always Adelaide.
Live, local. This is 5AA, Always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
Well, everyone, as we know, is a fan of John Lennon. So imagine a show where you have an exceptional lineup of Australian talent, singers, musicians who will perform 32 John Lennon classics. This is not a dream, folks. This is a reality. It is the music of John Lennon. Give peace a chance, and it's this Saturday at the Festival Theatre. We're talking Adelita from Magic Dirt, Steve Kilby from The Church. You've got Isabella Manfredi from The Preachers, Kevin Mitchell from Bob Evans and Jebediah, and my next guest, the great man Diesel. Lovely to see you, Diesel. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
It's a great idea, this show. Whose idea was it that you're all sitting around as friends going, we all love Lennon, let's do a show?
I believe it's Peter Ricks, possibly Lindsay Fields, who's a legend himself, Ash Naylor, who's, you know, is one of the greatest musical directors in the country, if not the world. The band is all out of Melbourne, and they're just incredible. And I'd have to say the combination of us as artists, Izzy, Adelita, Steve, and Kevin and myself, it's worked magic. It's really, I think, because we're so diverse, it makes for a great combination. The color that comes out when we sing together I've been blown away. I love singing with other people, and I don't get to do it as much as probably as I'd like to. I do a lot of solo shows, so I guess I get to sing with an audience, which is great. But yeah, getting to sing with these people every night, it's just been an absolute joy.
Are you all? I imagine you're all friends. How does the conversation come up as to who does what?
You know, I think there's a lot of 6 degrees of separation. I think there's one common thing that seems to join us is they've all done gigs at my brother's venue up in Newcastle, Lazot's, when he had that. He's passed it on now. But yeah, so my brother knows everyone in the music industry, so they all sort of feel like it's that they know me a bit because they've worked with my brother, which is a really nice, cozy, warm thing.
Yeah, 6 degrees. Hey, your dad was a professional musician. I imagine you've grown up in a household of music. He would have been playing Lennon and the Beatles, surely, as a kid.
Yeah, we'd had Beatles records. I mean, one of the first memories I have as a baby was seeing that Apple label spinning around on the turntable, and along with my dad's jazz records, like, Verve records, which had a very distinct design as well. The Verve has that sort of V. Those are the things that you really, made a big impact on me. The record player was probably the most interesting thing in the house to me as a toddler. And I couldn't keep my hands off it, apparently. So, yeah, my older sister, who's kind of old enough to be my mum, because my mum had 7 kids, so I'm the youngest, she would get me in her arms and dance with me to Beatles records. So, yeah, I was really kind of, like, these songs are sort of, they live inside of me, a lot of them. I never got to see them, obviously.
Yes.
But the music lives inside of me, thanks to my household.
I agree with you about the mystique about the record player too, and I think maybe that's why vinyl's made such a strong comeback too, because as kids we weren't allowed to touch it, because the needle was so delicate. But it was mesmerising to just sit there and watch it spin around.
It is. It's a crazy, concept. I can't even begin to get my head around it still, like this groove, and a needle goes in a fine piece of, like, some kind of gemstone, drops inside. Left and right of that gap is like left side, right side of your 2 speakers, and all that information is in that gully of whatever it is. It's just, and what comes out, it's the closest thing to a piano string or a guitar string or a horn being blown or whatever. That's why vinyl sounds better than these, zeros and ones, because it's actually physical.
Yes.
And it's coming down a tone arm, which is actually sound coming down there. The really organic version of that was, the old wind up sort of ones with a needle that would drop, no electricity involved. And someone gave me one of those once. They found it down the tip, and I put this record of a solo violin on, and I'll never forget. It actually, like, stirred up everything inside me. I just felt, oh my God, there's a ghost coming out of this thing, because even though it was lo-fi, it just sounded more ethereal and real, in a sense that it was like, with all this technology, we're actually not going anywhere kind of closer to, like, an actual physical sound of a sound coming out of an instrument, reproduction of that anyway. More compact and more clean and all that, but that thing was just like, whoa, this thing really,
it was magic.
It was like the violinist was in the room. It was really spooky.
I always loved too that if you accidentally bumped it, you could jump from song 1 to 4 just like that, which was always amusing too.
That's a good thing.
Hey, as a great singer and songwriter yourself, talk about Lennon himself for us for a second. 60 years on, the music is as relevant, if not more so than ever. And that's a great skill set and talent to have, isn't it?
I think, he was just curious, and he remained curious, and he had this real wit as well. He was so kind of, I love his comments that he's made, his famous comments that he said about things. And, like one of them, I think Steve has been quoting at the gigs, Steve Gilby, and he's been saying, like, John Lennon said the French word made up, the term for avant-garde, is actually just bullshit, and I just think that's fantastic. He had sort of, I guess, a bit of a BS meter, but he was also really soft. And, I still think his song that's just called Love, which is trying to sort of, like, describe what love is in a song is not going to be easy. But I think he really, really kind of came close to just maybe a perfect song. And Isabella Manfredi has been singing that song, and it's it's been drawing people to tears. That's all I can say. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah, it's funny. I heard you talk about how much you loved the song Love, but the beauty of his career is that all of you in this show all have favourite Lennon songs, and they're all different. So, again, you've got such a wide catalogue to choose from. Are you going chronologically in the show, Diesel, or is it just whatever suits?
No, it's kind of all over the shop. It's kind of nice. It doesn't really, it leapfrogs from, I guess from just almost straight out of Liverpool to kind of, when he was living in New York City and back and forth, and, his solo stuff to bits that he did with the band. So it's really diverse. And needless to say, I think we're only probably doing a small percentage of his whole catalogue. It's crazy. Like when we were talking the other day, it was just like, what about that song? Oh yeah, that song. All these song titles were coming out, and it's just, you realize it's impossible. But having said that, I think this is a pretty much, I don't think many people would come and walk out and go, well, they didn't play many of the songs that I wanted to hear. I think everyone leaves pretty happy.
You're going to hear everything you want to. The music of John Lennon is the show Give Peace a Chance, Saturday at the Festival Theatre. Diesel is my guest. When you look out to the crowd, Diesel, the beauty of John Lennon is you're going to see so many people, not very many shows you go to where everyone knows every word, but I imagine that they will.
I've been watching that.
Yeah.
I've been watching that as we do the first song, and then I step off and I sort of look at the crowd, and it's crazy, especially the people up the front. They're easier to see, but yeah, there's a lot of like knowing every lyric.
And I think also that musical taste is passed on through generations. Lennon's as popular in 2025 as he was in 95 and 85 and 75.
Yeah, I just think he's such, like, for want of a better word, he's always going to be cool. He was, Paul was the fun sort of goofy Beatle. George sort of ended up being the kind of like the kind of almost like the calm kind of monk type Beatle. Ringo is just, everyone loves Ringo. He's cool too, I have to say. But John always had that cool. He was a little bit controversial. He's definitely, in my books, he was the cool one.
Which songs do we get to hear you? So you sing them as a group, don't you? All of you, but are there ones that you get to crack on your own?
Yeah, we all get some solo numbers and group numbers and duets. I get to sing some great songs. I get to sing a song with Kevin, and I get to do one with Izzy. It's really fun. Those are the things that I really enjoy.
Well,
peel-offs.
Yeah, let's keep that as a surprise. We want everyone to get their tickets still available, but not many, so make sure you rush in. It's this coming Saturday. Yes. It's at the Festival Theatre. Steve Kilby from The Church, Adelaide from Magic Dirt, Isabella Manfredi from The Preachers, Kevin Mitchell, who's a good guy from Jebediah, and Bob Evans, and, of course, the great man Diesel. Thanks for bringing this show to us. I mean, we were very blessed. Paul McCartney was here a couple of years ago when he did that tour, around the country, which you sort of lose yourself a little bit that you're in the same room as a Beatle. This is the next best thing. Australia's best doing the best songs of John Lennon. So thanks for coming to see us, and we hope you enjoy your time here in Adelaide.
We always do. Can't wait to see the river.
Well done. Good on you. We'll speak to you about that later in the year. The Great Diesel, as part of the John Lennon Show, happening this Saturday at the Festival Theatre. It's called Give Peace a Chance.
Onto the show for a chat, thanks to Pals, Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals.
Calling it. This is the year. Big Christmas bonus.
You said that last year. You got a mug and a meat tray raffle ticket.
Get a real bonus with Sip and Save. Buy any participating Coopers 24-pack and receive a token. Collect 3 tokens to claim your bonus Coopers Ugly Christmas Jumper. Coopers Pale Ale 24-pack only $58.99. Or Coopers Mild Ale 24-pack just $49.99. You can expect more from Sip and Save. More deals, more range, more service. Prices may vary in country areas while stocks last. T's and C's apply. See website for details.
Sip and Save.
There's more in store.
Adelaide, can you hear the roar? The British and Irish Lions are coming in a one-night-only event this July. 6 nations will clash in the heart of Adelaide at the iconic Adelaide Oval. Witness the pinnacle of international rugby when the best of England, Ireland, Wales and Scotland join forces to take on a combined Australia and New Zealand juggernaut. One tour, one chance. Don't miss out. Secure your tickets now at Ticketek.
Grab your favourite choc top and some popcorn and enjoy a day of fun on the big screen at Wallace. Learn how to train a dragon, get abducted by aliens from the communiverse, meet a lonely Hawaiian girl and her new alien friend Stitch, and save Papa Smurf from evil wizards. Your school holiday entertainment is covered at Wallace Entertainment Cinemas, Mitcham, Mount Barker, Noarlunga and the Piccadilly. South Australia's home of big screen magic and entertainment. Book now at wallace.com.au.
Unlock your next getaway with a chance to win one of 2 Crusader caravans, plus 50k in vouchers to be won nationally. Buy the advertiser, find today's code word and enter at winwithnews.com.au. T's and C's apply. T25/904.
Of all the billions of stars sparkling across the galaxy, 8 adorn the Energy Star rating of Aldi's 8-kilogram heat pump clothes dryer for $499. With 15 drying programs and a UV sterilizing function. It's special you can buy at the laundry wash sale this Saturday. Aldi. Good different.
Don't miss the Cheapest Chips Chippy Rewards Super Sale this weekend.
Cheapest Chips.
Members get 25% off all storage. Sign up and start saving. Offer ends this Sunday. Live cheaper at the Chippy Rewards Super Sale at Cheapest Chips.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early. Or late. Either way, the Olympic Industry Sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA-engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industry Sale. On now.
5AA Afternoons with Leith Forrest.
16 minutes to 4, 8223 0000 is the number. You can join us before we hand over the reins to Stephen Rowe. Tim Ginniver, the 5AA Sports Show, coming up from 4. We'll find out what's on the big show in just 1 second. Before we get to that, a couple of SMSs. Marion, we're talking about nostalgic cough lollies on the back of the chat with Shannon Hewitt from Star Discount Chemist. Marion says, Leith, as a child, I recall the yummy SOS lollies. Many of us girls would take the SOS out of our mouths and we'll use them for lipstick. And I'm having a look at them now on the live stream for complete care. Brooklyn's found the photos for us. I don't remember those at all, the SOS cough drops. What era was that? Can anyone help us out? So Marion would take them out, use them as a lipstick. I'm guessing... So I was born mid-70s, kid of the 80s. I'm going to have a guess they're 60s or 70s, the SOS cough drops before my time. If you can help us out, 8223 0000. I love that people are so nostalgic, though, about cough lollies, the SOS. Wonder what flavour it was. Thank you, Marion. I appreciate that. In terms of the Michael Voss situation, Stavros says, surely the idiot who threatened Michael Voss should go before the courts. Forget banning him from the footy, get him out of society. So this is just repeating that the Collingwood supporter who made the death threats towards Michael Voss has now been given a 5-year ban from both the MCG and the AFL, with Collingwood's ban to follow suit. They misused the MCG's anti-social behaviour hotline during the match against Carlton. Imagine sitting there watching the footy. Probably had a couple. What do? I know, that anti-social hotline. Let me make a death threat to Michael Voss. 5 years. Do you think 5 years is enough? Is a death threat something that should be brought before the courts? Is it a police issue, do you think? 8223 0000. You're welcome to have your say on that. This one said, Leith, not long enough. I thought making threats over text or social media is illegal and they should face criminal charges. Sue says, a threat to Carlton coach gets a 5-year ban. Willie Rioli threatens players and he only gets a week. The AFL certainly sends some mixed messages. Any or all threats should be taken seriously and minimum bans should be in the years, says Sue. If you've got a thought on that, I'll be interested to hear it. 8223 0000. Text, email, or get to us on social media. Michael Voss did speak about this yesterday, the fact that he got these death threats when he did his press conference.
As a result of what I do, you appreciate there's an element of scrutiny that comes with that.
But then there's a part that's completely unacceptable. But this is the current nature that we need to consider within the AFL environment, and we all have responsibilities. I have responsibility. You guys have responsibilities here about what you write and the opinions you'll be able to create, and the ripple effect goes beyond just what your opinion is.
Craig McRae, the coach of Collingwood, also Michael's friend and three-time premiership teammate at the Brisbane Lions, had this to say.
Quite sad, isn't it? Like there's a boundary line, and then you step over that and you've got your home life. And come on, let's be better than that as a society. You know, there's a job. He's doing a job, and he's a great person, Michael. And I hope he's going okay. Yeah, hopefully the AFL just squashed that one.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I'll be interested to get your thoughts, though, whether you think 5 years is enough. And we see it from time to time. What's the ban for when someone runs on the oval? I think, isn't that in the 5-year category? Surely this is far more serious and far more damaging for a person's mental health, for the safety and security of the family. And, I mean, Michael would be dealing with it too, but his wife and his kids and, you know, Casey's here in Adelaide, plays for Sturt. I mean, how do they feel when their father's getting a death threat during a game of football, which is just ridiculous? And again, you don't know if it's serious or not, whether there's an element just of tomfoolery or you know, social lubrication. Maybe the person's had a couple. I don't know. But still, shouldn't have to put up with that in any workplace or any walk of life. You don't deserve death threats for any particular reason. Len says, my understanding of the law, threatening to kill someone is a crime, and it carries a 10-year prison penalty. So this should definitely have been a police matter. Thank you for that, Len. I guess we don't know officially what it says, the message, but that was the undertones that we believe, or the overtones. Michelle, on the issue of the cough lolly, says that she used to love the Black Crow throat lozenges. Not familiar with those either, Michelle. Was that a South Australian particular brand, or what era are we talking? Help us out with that if you can. 8223 0000. Marge in Hampstead Gardens. Got a memory for us, Marge?
I got pulled back Tarzan tubes.
Tarzan tubes?
Yeah, they're red, a small red with the sugar on them. You can still get them in the reject shop.
Was that that wasn't a cough lolly though, was it? That was just a lolly of some description, wasn't it?
No, it's like it's not eucalyptus, but it tastes.
Oh, really? It's like a lozenge.
Yeah, they're hot. Well, they're probably not really, but I used to use them for throat lollies
well,
anyway.
Hey, if it works, that's right. If it takes out any of the inflammation of your throat, why not? All right, I'm having a look at them here. The original lolly store Tarzan tubes. Okay.
You can't stop eating them.
Oh, that was the problem, Marge. With, you might remember the one we were talking about before, the throaties. In the 80s, the throaties was like this cardboard box with a plastic paper inside, or plastic bag inside.
They clear your chest too.
Yeah, they were good, but they sort of had a lolly consistency to them, so you were happy to just eat them like jubes.
You used to get a great big packet for $2, but now you only get like a half. But it's probably better if they're smaller packets anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? All right, so the original Tarzan tubes. That's a good memory.
In the reject shop, you get them.
And that's your go-to throat lozenge.
Yeah, well, it works. Probably an excuse, but
I love the fact, Marge, you're going rather than to a chemist or a pharmacy for your medicinal purposes, you go to the reject shop. Well, hey, that's what the reject shop's all about. They got lots of good stuff in there.
You go to the pub for your medicinal purposes.
Well done. Good on you, Marge. Lovely memory. Thank you for that. Appreciate the call. Marion said in the very late 60s and early 70s, we believe, the SOS cough lollies from our primary school canteen. Christine says, I agree with the other text message, 5 years for a threat by a spectator, but let's sweep that under the carpet, wrap our arms around Willie Rioli for threatening not one but 3 players. Unbelievable. Fair to see, to play devil's advocate though, Christine, on that, I don't think Willie's were death threats, were they? They were threats, but I don't think they were quite the death threats of Michael Voss. Again, we don't know the full details of, but it sounds like this was far more serious. Julie says, what if this nutter had tendencies that we don't know about until it's too late? The guy that did this needs to face the law or a mental health assessment. That is a good point, Julie. You would hope that would be the case. And we've seen, unfortunately, similar instances where, remember, guns were taken into the MCG at one of the games too. So there are some people who are getting way too excited about games of football and letting their emotions run wild and taking people along with them, which is a huge concern for all involved. And we're lucky that Michael's got a great family and support network and club around him to look after him, because you could understand that it would be quite a difficult thing to deal with. Gerald on the cough lollies.
Yes.
Welcome, Gerald.
How you going?
Good, thank you.
Back in the day, I don't know whether it was called Irish moths or Irish moss. They were a green tube in a white and green box for coughing.
Here it is. Irish moss. MOSS.
Okay, there you go.
It is a dark-coloured, sugar-coated tube with amazing aniseed licorice taste. So I guess the aniseed might help you out medicinally on that one.
I just remember them, that's all.
So did you take them for a sore throat or a?
Yeah, for a sore throat, yeah.
I love the idea of people taking lollies,
back
not
when I
cough
was
lollies.
12, 50 years ago.
Wonder if they're still around, the Irish moss, Gerald.
Haven't seen them, and I don't go looking for them, to be honest with you. I just remember them.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? The nostalgia that goes with it. Well done. Good on you, Gerald.
Yep.
Thank you for that. Appreciate the call. People texting in thick and fast. Who was this one from? Michelle, thank you. She says, here they are, Leith. This is online. You can still buy them. The Black Crowes Boiled Sweet, 200 grams for $4.50. I guess it makes sense. Whether it's the sugar content, the aniseed, the licorice that would help you out medicinally when you had a sore throat or an impending cold, cough or cold. Interesting. I guess people did that though, didn't they? You would use whatever you were able to use to your benefit. I always remember as a kid, one of the great remedies for a cough, cold, flu was, and maybe it was like a placebo effect, was the flat Woody's lemonade. Do you remember that? That was the go-to. Mum and Dad didn't go to the chemist and buy Seneca or an ammonia. It was flat Woody's lemonade, which almost always had to be bought from a service station because they seemed to have more Woody's lemonade out the front than anyone else. It was in the plastic bottle that was built like a submarine, and Mum would just give us to it. It would be flat in seconds, and that was, I don't know, it was a magical elixir. Made us a lot better, which was interesting. So well done, Woodies. Thank you for keeping the South Australian kids healthy for so many years. Christine says it doesn't matter what sort of threat regarding Willie. He threatened to bash players. It's not any sort of threat. That's a good point. I mean, it's hard to argue. You shouldn't be threatening anyone, but I do wonder if a death threat is worth 5 years or a little more. Is it an offence that we should actually be calling the police and saying, hey, how about checking this out? Because you would hate for it to elevate into something else and then go, well, we knew about it. And you certainly don't hope that or encourage it. I always think that when you see these stories of players who are banned, or not players, spectators, for example, who are banned from games, sporting games, you know, or people that run onto the Oval, etc. How do the people know? You know, if you're going to the Adelaide Oval, is your face splashed on walls and columns and posts, etc., to say, hey, don't let Leith Forrest in because he was a peanut and he ran on the field last time he was here? I'm sure they get in. You know, banned from the Adelaide Oval, banned from the MCG, this guy for 5 years. Not sure. Pete from Marston loves his Anticoals, still buys them to this day. Thank you, Pete. Short break and we'll let you know what's on the Sports Show next.
Coming up next, Adelaide's only local sports show. It's the very latest in sport, live from Adelaide. Enjoy the crisp, clear digital sounds now with the FIVEAA Player app. Always streaming, always Adelaide.
The SA Weekend Escapes travel voucher giveaway is back. That's right. SA Weekend Escapes is giving away $75 travel vouchers for your next winter getaway at over 20 hotels across South Australia. Think the Riverland, Port Lincoln, Kangaroo Island, or even a coastal stay at Glenelg. It's your voucher, your choice, your escape. So what are you waiting for? Visit saweekendescapes.com.au and grab your $75 travel voucher today. T's and C's apply.
Escape for the day the old-fashioned way with the Steam Ranger Heritage Railway. Take the kids for a trip back in time on board Steam Ranger's iconic cockle train on the Fleurieu Peninsula, with added services for the school holidays. Right behind vintage steam trains, classic diesels and heritage rail cars along one of Australia's most scenic railway lines. For more info, visit Steam Ranger online or on the line, with tickets available from the Goolwa, Port Elliot and Victor Harbour train stations.
We're going to speak to Tim in a second about the sport. You know any French, Tim?
French. Oh, very, very fluent.
Merci, très bien. Cheese, crepes, champagne, merci. Bastille Day at the market. Celebrate France's national holiday over 2 exciting days, tomorrow and Saturday. Plenty lined up. School holidays, kids' activities, free cooking demonstrations. Get the kids some snails.
Oh, yeah.
Some escargot.
Taking them next week for a tour of the Central Market.
Beautiful. Champagne bar, crepes and more. Free live music, entertainment, French atmosphere, including the Can-Can and Friday Night Opera. You may see Tim Ginniver doing the Can-Can around the Central Market. Stock up on your favourite French goodies Friday, Saturday. I can play that on the piano. Bastille Day, Adelaide Central Market, baguettes, croissants, small goods, and of course, the cheese. Join the celebrations. Transport your taste buds to France for the full program. AdelaideCentralMarket.com.
The Lions are coming. Witness the best of international rugby when the North combine to take on the South at Adelaide Oval. The Lions versus the Australia and New Zealand Invitational 15. Tickets at Ticketek.
Step back in time with the treasures of the Viking Age at the South Australian Museum. Featuring artefacts of the Galloway Hoard, the most remarkable collection of Viking Age objects ever unearthed in Britain or Ireland. A time capsule of gold, silver and treasures with unique heirlooms is revolutionising our understanding of medieval Europe. They are now being displayed for the first time ever outside of Britain. On now until the 27th of July. Book now at samuseum.sa.gov.au.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows. Factory direct to you.
Statesman Windows, a local homegrown success story, has been serving home renovators and builders right across SA for over 45 years. Their success is built around family and service, consistently providing the highest quality products at real value for money. Call Statesman Windows.
Windows winning where you are there. Windows winning where you are there.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
Minute and a half to 4. Sports show coming up very shortly. Tim Ginniver's going to tell us all about it. And while he does, I will play you the Can-Can on the live stream on the piano on my phone. Are you ready?
Forward to this. This will be great.
Let me try and get a little bit more volume on the eye.
Rightio, that'd be
I
good.
wish we could somehow get this. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, what a talent.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Unbelievable.
Available for birthdays, weddings, bar mitzvahs. What's coming up on the big show from 4 o'clock with a rejuvenated Stephen Rowe? How is he?
Yes.
Is he in first gear, second
put it
gear?
this way, it's a very courageous act that he is doing, making an appearance on the sports show. So well done to Rowe for coming back. But we've got Jace Burgon on his 4-year deal. We'll be talking to him. We've got Riley O'Brien in studio.
Excellent.
Having a chat about their big game against the Bulldogs. Massive. We've also got Carl Viet, of course,
new job.
Adelaide United, got a new job with the Joeys, looking
yep.
after the under-17s, which he's been sort of manufacturing a few of those at Adelaide United, hasn't he?
yes.
So
Well
in the past 5 years.
Footy factory.
Exactly. And also, the Robert Walls Medal will be presented for the first time tonight, Carlton v Brisbane. What other great should have a medal perhaps presented on their behalf, a sporting great that we've missed out on. So
I like it.
I like the idea myself.
The Brendan Favola medal for best on ground at the Brownlow.
Oh,
pressure
see,
points.
that's good.
Pressure points.
That's good. I'm writing that one down.
All right, that's coming up.
Leith from Henley Beach.
Yes, please. Thank you. Cheap Henley, Fulham. 4 o'clock, sports show next.
The very latest news and information.